It's 11 p.m. You told yourself you'd sleep at 10. You pick up your phone, just for a second. 1 hour later, you're still here. What happened? You started with one funny video, then a news headline, then an argument in the comments, then someone's vacation, then a tragedy, then a meme. Your brain is being pulled in 17 directions, and it loves it. Why does this happen? Is it laziness? Poor self-control? No, this is something much deeper. This is your brain, working exactly as designed. And today, we're going to find out why. In the next 20 minutes, we'll explore the neuroscience behind doom scrolling. We'll see how tech companies exploit your psychology, and most importantly, how you can take back control. Let's talk about dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite right. Dopamine is actually the wanting chemical. It's released when you anticipate a reward, not when you get it. Swipe. Will this post be interesting? That tiny moment of not knowing, that's dopamine firing. Psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered something chilling in the 1950s. When rats got a reward every time they pressed a lever, they pressed it occasionally. But when the reward was random, sometimes yes, sometimes no, the rats pressed the lever obsessively. They couldn't stop. This is called a variable reward schedule, and your phone is a slot machine built around it. Every time you pull down to refresh your feed, you are pulling a lever. Sometimes you get something amazing, a video that makes you laugh until you cry. Sometimes nothing, just ads. But the possibility, the chance of something good keeps your thumb moving. Here's where it gets darker. Every time dopamine spikes, your brain compensates by becoming less sensitive to it. Like how your first coffee gave you energy, now you need 3 just to feel normal. The more you scroll, the more you need to scroll, and real life starts to feel gray. Here's another cruel twist. Our brains are wired to pay more attention to threats. Negative news, outrage, conflict, these trigger a survival response. Algorithms know this, so they feed you more of it. You're not just chasing pleasure, you're also running from imaginary danger, and you can't look away. And then there's FOMO, fear of missing out. Every notification is a signal. Something is happening and you're not there. Your social brain, built over millions of years to fear exclusion from the tribe, panics. So you check and check and check again. Not because you want to, because you're afraid of what happens if you don't. Here's something that should make you angry. None of this is accidental. Tech companies employ hundreds of psychologists, behavioral economists, and neuroscientists, specifically to make their apps as hard to leave as possible. This is not a bug. This is the product. In 2006, a designer named Asa Raskin invented the infinite scroll. No more next page button. The feed just keeps going. He later said the infinite scroll was like sprinkling behavioral cocaine all over the interface. He has since dedicated his life to fighting the very thing he created. That little red notification dot, have you ever wondered why it's red? Red triggers alertness. It's the color of blood, fire, danger. Your brain cannot ignore it. It is biologically impossible. Every red dot is a tiny alarm going off in your nervous system, and the only way to silence it is to tap. The algorithm doesn't just show you what you like, it watches what makes you slow down, what makes you pause, what makes you angry. It tests thousands of micro variations to find your exact psychological trigger. Within hours of downloading an app, it knows you better than your friends do. Autoplay was designed around a single insight. The hardest moment to stop watching is right after a video ends. You're relaxed, your guard is down. You haven't made a conscious decision, so the next video starts in 3 seconds before your rational brain can say, wait, I was going to stop. 3 seconds. That's all it takes to steal another 10 minutes of your life. And then there's the social validation loop. You post something, then you check. Did anyone like it? Each like is a tiny social approval signal, and your brain treats social approval the same way it treats food or sex, as a survival necessity. So you post more, check more, perform more for an audience that may not even be watching. Let's be very clear about the economics here. These apps are free, which means you are not the customer. You are the product. Your attention is sold to advertisers. The longer you scroll, the more money they make. Your boredom, your loneliness, your anxiety, they are all revenue. Research shows that the average human attention span has dropped significantly in the smartphone era. But it's not just about time, it's about depth. Doom scrolling trains your brain to constantly seek novelty, to jump before finishing. Long-form reading, deep thinking, sustained concentration all become harder. Study after study shows a link between heavy social media use and anxiety, depression, and loneliness. Here's the cruel loop. You feel anxious, so you scroll to feel better. But scrolling exposes you to more bad news and social comparison, making you more anxious, so you scroll more. The medicine is the disease. Your brain has an internal clock controlled by a hormone called melatonin. Darkness triggers melatonin. Melatonin makes you sleep. But phone screens emit blue light, which your brain interprets as sunlight. So at midnight, your brain thinks it's noon, and you lie awake, scrolling, making it worse. Memory consolidation happens in periods of quiet and rest. Every moment you spend scrolling is a moment your brain cannot process and store what you experienced today. And because you're consuming so much content so fast, almost none of it sticks. Think about it. What was the last thing you saw on social media? Can you even remember? Perhaps the strangest effect of doom scrolling is emotional numbing. You see a famine, then a celebrity drama, then a puppy video, then a war. Your emotional system cannot process this many inputs, so it shuts down, and you scroll past tragedy with the same expression you scroll past memes. The world becomes flat. Here's the first thing you need to accept. Willpower alone won't save you. You are not fighting laziness. You are fighting billion-dollar systems engineered by the world's smartest engineers to defeat your self-control. The answer is not try harder. The answer is to redesign your environment. Behavioral scientists call it friction. The idea is simple. Make bad habits harder to do. Delete the app from your home screen. Put your phone in another room at night. Turn your screen to grayscale. Suddenly, the phone becomes much less appealing. You don't need perfect willpower. You just need enough friction to create a pause. Remember, your brain isn't broken. It's seeking stimulation and reward. Give it a better source. A walk, a conversation, a book, a creative project. These don't give the same instant hit, but they build lasting dopamine, not borrowed dopamine. Real rewards, real memories, real life. Next time you reach for your phone, pause for just 5 seconds. Ask, am I bored? Am I anxious? Am I lonely? Name the feeling, because the moment you name it, you regain a tiny window of choice. 5 seconds. That's the difference between reacting and deciding. One final thought. We've been taught to fear boredom, to fill every empty second, but research shows boredom is where creativity lives, where your mind processes emotions, where your best ideas are born. The discomfort of doing nothing is not a problem to fix, it's a skill to develop. Let's recap. Your brain is wired for variable rewards. Scrolling exploits that perfectly. Tech companies designed this addiction deliberately, and it's affecting your sleep, focus, mood, and memory. But you are not helpless. Friction works, awareness works, and boredom is secretly your friend. Here's your challenge for this week. Pick one strategy from today's video, just one. Maybe put your phone in a different room at night. Maybe add a screen time limit. Maybe turn your screen to grayscale. Just one for 7 days, and notice what changes. If this video made you think, share it with someone you think is stuck in the same loop. Drop a comment. What's your biggest struggle with doom scrolling? And if you want more psychology explained through stickmen, you know what to do.